But the greatest proof of that was when Alexis de Tocqueville came to America. We're talking about what we saw in the days of Solomon. The message or the reputation of what God had done was so great that the Queen of Sheba came to see what is going on here. And when she saw it, she said, what I had heard had not even told a fraction of it. Well, Alexis de Tocqueville came to see what is it that makes America great. And what he discovered would shock the nations and shock historians, because he said what makes America great is that no other nation lives out the gospel like America. And no other nation does the gospel and does the biblical faith exert as much influence over every area of life as it does in America. And practically speaking, he even said, as he was wrestling with these things to figure out what it was, I'll give you a practical example. He said, something has made the American woman stronger, happier, and more industrious than all the other women in the rest of the world. And he said, it's because the marriage covenant is honored as more sacred in America than in any other country in the world. He said, if the producer couldn't trust the consumer, he would have to hire somebody to protect the milk. And we said, when I told the story around the world, people laughed, said, forget the milk, we would have stolen the cow as well. And he said, but if you can't trust the consumer, then neither can you trust the producer, because he'll want to water down the milk to make more profit. And so now your money is buying less than what you're paying for, devaluing your wealth, your hard-earned money. He said, but if you can't trust the producer and you can't trust the consumer, then you're going to say, give me a regulator to regulate this. And so the cost of that is, again, going to be tacked onto the milk. And then you can't trust the regulator either, and he's going to say, I need a bribe to license you to sell your milk. And all of this is added to the cost of the milk, and now you're seeing the practical wages of sin in society. You hear what I'm saying? So, you know, when it says in Leviticus 19, be holy, for I am holy. It has all kinds of things. You will not execute judgment for the poor because they're poor, or the rich for the rich. But you will execute sound judgment. You will not defraud your neighbor. You will not use unjust scales. Be holy, for I am holy. For you were slaves in the land of Egypt. Who thought that holiness is connected with doing righteously? But that's exactly what it is in Scripture. And it's beautiful. If we just have eyes to see, it is beautiful, right? And so when God brought Israel out of Egypt, the first thing he did is said, this is how you structure your society to bring me glory, to bring me honor, to be a blessing, to have freedom, to be something other than this land of oppression and slavery and bondage. And that social architecture was not just, here's how you do church. It included church. But it also included, here's how you'll govern. Here is how your families will be run. It had something to say to every area of life.